What's up, everybody? So it's Corey here. I want to thank you for being here on my channel. We want to talk today a little bit about how you get a pixel set up. We're probably going to go over how you can put it in Shopify, how you can put it in ClickFunnels, and a few other things, and what you really need to have to get your pixel set up, and what the best practices for this pixel actually is. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dive right in here. First thing we're going to do is going to go ahead and pull up our business manager. As you can see, we already have our business manager up. I want to talk about something real quick, guys. Business Manager is constantly changing. There's constantly new things that are coming on in here. Facebook actually has about 10,000 different forms of Business Manager and Facebook actually running at all times. So if you come in here and you look and it looks a little bit different, it might be a little different, but it's still fine. They're going to be testing different UIs. User interfaces on the different platforms to make sure that they can try different things and stuff like that. But all the concepts are still the same. Everything's laid out still the same. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. So we're going to go into our business manager. First thing we want to do is go to our business settings. Okay. Once we are in our business settings, then you have the ability to go over here to on the left side and go to data sources. And as you can see under data sources right over here, we have the pixel. So we're going to click on the pixel and we're going to want to create a new pixel. So we'll add a pixel right here. We'll just call it Paradigms Pixel 2.0. And I'm not real sure what website. We're not gonna put a website on it just yet. So we'll go ahead and hit continue. This will create our pixel. Now we can set the pixel up ourselves, or we can send it to a developer. So there's plenty of different ways to set this up. So we want to talk about the setup method. So as you're running your funnel, as you're running your website, the key to having a good performing website is how fast your website runs. If your speed, if your website's actually performing well, your speed is going to be up. Okay, and so whenever your speed on your website gets down, that means conversions rates are going to, people, if it hasn't loaded in the first 3 to 4 seconds, people are probably going to end up exiting out of it, and we do not want that. So whenever you start adding more tracking code, the more code that you put in the back end of the website, the slower the website is going to go, and we do not want that. We want it performing at top speed so that we are getting the most leads as possible, the most sales as possible, and that all comes into website speed. And we want to make sure that our pixel and everything is not clogging up that website speed and it's actually loading fast. Okay, so there's a thing called Google Tag Manager, and we're going to talk a lot about Google Tag Manager in this video as well, because that's how we set up our Facebook pixel and how we make sure that our Facebook pixel is not messing up our website speed. So as you can see, I've already got Google Tag Manager pulled up right here. So you just search basically Google Tag Manager, and they actually have a little spot right here. You can do this for free. So it's a completely free tool that Google allows you to use. So once you have that in here, we're just going to set it up as Paradigm 2.0. 2.0. We'll set up our website name right here. We're going to say, let's see what we're going to put it as. I'm going to pause this real quick and see what we're going to put it at. Okay, so what I did was just kind of pull a domain from our ClickFunnels account so that we can add this in here. So our domain is actually going to be, this cannot be set with reserved characters, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're just going to set it up as rsmith129 at clickfunnels.com. Then we can add that in. We'll go and we'll do our target platform will be web. So we want to make sure that we have that set up right there. You can read through here, make sure you're okay with all the data processing and all that. And we'll go ahead and accept yes. Once we've accepted yes, then you're going to actually have your Google Tag Manager. Now, what we do is you have the ability to put this inside of the head and the body of your website, okay? So I'm going to quickly show you how to do that inside of ClickFunnels. It makes it super simple. I'm going to pull my ClickFunnels account over here so you can see it. All right. So with ClickFunnels, you have your website editor, you have your website right here, and you just kind of go to settings. And inside of here, you actually have your head and tracking code. So you can just kind of copy this head, drop that in right there. Or you can go to your body right here, and you have to do it on both. So once you have that in there, you can just kind of save that. Now that allows you to put that in there. So honestly, if you're using any other type of website, if you're not using ClickFunnels, you're using Shopify or anything, I think I can pull it over here real quick and show you on one of our Shopify accounts. Let's We'll go into our online store. Let's let's see, you can go to custom action, actually go to actions right here. You can edit the code and you'll come in here. Once you get in here, you can kind of go to your theme, your liquid right here. And as you can see right here, you've got the head. So we've got our Google Tag Manager right here in the head. And then I believe down here in the body, we've actually got another section of the script. Right here in the body, we've got our Google Tag Manager as well. So that's how you put it in on Shopify and how you put it in on your ClickFunnels account. If you're using any other website developer or you have gotten someone to build your website, you can just kind of send that to your developer. They should be able to throw it in there. Super simple, super easy for you to be able to, so you can go ahead and have it in there. But the best part about Google Tag Manager is the fact that you do not have to, now once you have this in there, you can put as many tracking codes in there as possible and it's not going to mess anything up. So the good part about Google Tag Manager is the fact of Google makes it to where this is a little piece of JavaScript that loads at the end of your website. So if you just put your pixel into your website, then the first thing that's going to load is that pixel, and it's going to actually slow down your load page or your page load time, and you don't want that. So whenever you put the tag manager, it's basically a piece of JavaScript that's going to load at the very end of the website or after the website is loaded, so that you're still tracking, but it's actually the last thing that loads instead of the first thing. So everything else on the page will actually load, so you're getting faster load time. But the good part about Google Tag Manager is the ability to put as many tracking codes as possible in here. So you can go in here and we're going to go ahead and set up our Facebook pixel. So we'll name it right here, Facebook pixel. Boom, we've got that in there. We'll a tag configuration. We'll go custom HTML. So custom HTML, we'll go back to our business settings. Once we're in our business settings, we'll go ahead and manually add this to a website. We'll just copy this Facebook pixel right here. We'll go back in here, back to our Google Tag Manager. We'll just drop that right there. We want it to trigger on all pages. So we'll trigger that on all pages. We'll save that right there. So now that that is in there, basically now we have a tag inside of our Google Pixel. Inside of our Google Tag Manager. So now every time that Google Tag Manager loads, that pixel is going to load. But we got to go ahead and get submitted right here. We'll just name it version Facebook Pixel. Facebook Pixel. We'll publish that. And now, boom, magically, that pixel is actually already on your website now that you have it inside of your ClickFunnels account or inside of your website in Shopify. Now, if you're not wanting to use there's a way inside of Shopify, if you don't want to use Tag Manager, if Facebook's pixel is the only type of thing you're going to be using, you can kind of come down here to preferences and you can actually put your pixel ID right here. So we can go back in here. If you want to see your pixel ID, it should be, let's see, it's going to be somewhere in here, right there, your pixel ID. So you can kind of copy that. And if you see right here, this little, I can't copy it from here, but the 273389, that is your pixel ID. So then you can kind of just throw that inside of the inside of this section right here, which would be your pixel. But the best part about Google Tag Manager is that we can add multiple tags. So we like to put our Google Analytics, we like to put our Google Analytics, our Facebook pixel, our Hotjar, all of our tracking that we're going to be using inside of our funnel. We like to go ahead and put in that tag manager, because once you have the tag manager in there, you can update it no matter what, and it's just going to add it in there. So there's no point in actually going back in, and especially if you're using an actual website builder or you are having to hire a developer, you don't want to have to go in and say every single time you want a piece of tracking code, you don't want to have to get that web developer to add it in. You can just use the Google Tag Manager. Once you've added it into the Google Tag Manager, then it's actually just going to go ahead and add it into the website as well. So then you're actually not having to call anybody. You can do it yourself, and it's super simple, okay? Once we have all that in there, we can come in here. We can kind of track our website. Let's see. ClickFunnels, we've put that in there. It's in there. So now we can save and update. We'll come back over here, which is be our, I think it was R Smith 129464 .clickfunnels.com. Send test traffic. Let's see if it's actually going to work. Nope, that didn't work. So we're going to go back over here. We'll go back into ClickFunnels. We'll pull this. Hold on. Come on. Just hit back real quick. Boom. And it might not work with this weird domain that I've used, but it should. So as you can see up here, this is what we call the Facebook Pixel Helper. It is an actual Chrome extension that you can just download and actually start using. I'm trying to move my face over, so I just want to make sure that you guys can see that. I'm going to minimize this for a second just to make sure. Okay, so as you can see right here, this is called Facebook Pixel Helper. This is actually a Chrome extension that Facebook actually makes so that you can make sure your pixel is on there. So once we've got that into the website, then it'll say active. You can hit continue. And then you can use the events tool to set up different things. So we can go back in here, we'll paste our website right there, we'll open in the website. And then as you can see right here, let's see, it's gonna pop up over here. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Next, it'll go through all the different processes that you need to get started. And then, okay, so we can say, hey, I want to track this button. When they click this button, that means that they have, let's say, so you've got all these different things right here. You can kind of go through your normal ones: add to cart, initiate checkout, become a lead, purchase, add payment info, complete registration, all these different things that you can set up. And now if you don't like any of these, you can actually go in and set up custom conversions inside of the pixel. So we'll kind of go in that in just a second. But we'll just say, I'm not going to use this actually. Hold on. Cancel. Pause that. We'll say when they click this button right here, so we're going to track this button, they become a lead. So boom, now that is going to be confirmed as a lead. So every time we're running an ad to this, the more people that so if we want to do a conversion ad, it will convert people that are actually going to click on this. So we can go ahead and submit this. This will go to the next page, which is then set up as this. We'll track this URL, select the event. We'll say, let's say now now they became a contact. So we'll contain, confirm. So now we've got finished setup, we've got a lead, and we've got a contact. So basically the same thing, but you can either set it up either way. We like to do a little bit of both. So we're making sure that we have two different events, testing and making sure that we are getting those events. Just because sometimes people will actually click the button, but they never put their information in. So it might trigger as a lead whenever they didn't actually put their information in. So we like to at least have something on the second page to make sure that they are still becoming a contact. So then we can finish this right here. We'll say, yes, this was wonderful. Submit. Boom. Now we've got our event set up. And now what we can do is come back over here. We'll go into our events manager. Once you get into your events manager, you can kind of see the different events that you just set up. All right, so once we get it set up, we're actually going to come over here to Events Manager. Events Manager is going to be a place where we can actually set up all of our custom conversions, and make sure that everything's working so that we're seeing if the pixel's set up and everything properly. So as you can see right here, we're going to go ahead and dive into here. I've already sent a few test traffics to make sure that it was active, but what we'll do is we'll go to test events right here. So as you saw, we already set up our I think it was our lead and our contact. So once we send traffic to it, it should show up over here on page view. So we got our first page view event right here that's going to show up properly. Once we come in here, we kind of set up all of this. We'll hit reserve spot. That should trigger our lead. Let's see if it's going to work properly. Our contact. So it actually did the contact. It did not show up the lead. That's weird. Let's make sure that it's over here. We'll go into our overview. Well, I guess it's not showing up for our lead, but we did get our contact. So that's the main thing is we need the page view. We need the contact because the only way for them to become a contact is for them to go to the second page in the funnel anyway. So we want to at least make sure that's there. Then we can come over here and we can actually do custom conversions. We can create a custom conversion. We can call that lead as well. So we can put our We can go to the second step in the funnel, which is this, which is the thank you page. So we can kind of come up here, grab the URL from this. Anything that's going to have that as the thank you page contains thank you. We'll set that as a lead as well. So lead 2.0. Select category. We'll select it as a lead. We don't have to put a conversion. So whenever you're doing like sales, and if you're setting up, let's say, purchase conversion, if you're going in here and you're setting this up as a purchase conversion, and let's say your product's worth $75, then you'll set the value right here, $75. So when you're running your ads and you're getting these conversions, you know how much that conversion's worth every single time. So then you're calculating your return on ad spend. But that's for a different thing. We'll go to being able to set that lead up. It's the same way as if you're setting up anything. So if this is a purchase, you can set this up as a purchase as well. We're getting an error, internal error. I don't know what that means. We'll come back over here to our data source. We'll go back in, we'll test that one. So test events. We'll come in here, we're right here. We'll go ahead and submit this. So then that should trigger our page view and our contact and lead point 2.0. So boom, now you're seeing how these conversions are actually working, how the custom conversion can work, and how you need to set everything up. So a quick recap: whenever you're wanting to set up your pixel, make sure that you're installing Google Tag Manager so that you're getting faster page load and speed on the video, on your page. Use Google Tag Manager, put your pixel in Google Tag Manager. Once you have your pixel set up in Google Tag Manager, then you come into Events Manager. You can use the test events to make sure your events are set up. You can use the custom conversions or the setup events tool, so the Events Manager tool, which will allow you to actually set up the events super simply. Now you're checking everything during your test events. If you have any problems with it, you can use the diagnostics tool right here, which will show you what the problems with your pixel are. And that should be everything, guys. So if you like this video, if you got value from this video, please make sure to go like it, share it, and go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We're going to be dropping a ton of information all the time on how you can use internet marketing and how you can actually use this inside of your business. And if you're building an agency, then you can actually use this inside of your clients' businesses as well, so that we're making sure that you are getting as much value as possible. So we look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Thanks, guys.